everyone, and welcome to the 30-Day Summit, where Russell Brunson has brought together a collection of his top 2 Comma Club and 8-figure award winners to share with you how they would literally survive and begin to rebuild their business in just 30 days if they lost it all. My name is Bailey Richard, and right now I'm delighted to be speaking with Stacey Martino. Stacey and Paul Martino have proven that it only takes one partner to transform a relationship. Any relationship. The Martinos are on a mission to empower people to get the unshakable love and unleashed passion they want in their relationship, even if their partner refuses to change. Stacey and Paul are the founders of relationshipdevelopment.org and creators of Relationship U. Through their revolutionary relationship development methodology, they are changing the way relationship is done. Today, through their strategic coaching online programs and sold-out live events, Stacey and Paul have helped save thousands of marriages around the world by working with only one spouse. Trained and certified by Tony Robbins, Stacey is a certified marriage educator, divorce preventionist, and strategic interventionist. As a 6-time best-selling author, Stacey is a sought-after relationship expert and is the relationship expert for Aspire magazine. So Stacey, welcome to the summit.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bailey. It's great to be here.
Well, it's such a pleasure to have you. I mean, what an incredible resume. I'm so excited right now to be diving in with you on your 30-day plan. So let's get started by taking a look at week 1. Now, when I was reading your 30-day plan, I basically saw week 1 as being divided into 2 parts, part 1 and 2. So I want to talk about both, but let's just start with part 1, where you're doing some activities that really lay the foundation and set you up for your continued future success. So could you share with us some of the things that are happening during the first few days of your plan?
Yeah, what's so key is if you're going to take on a 30-day plan, and the way I wrote this was, whatever you're coming out of that put you in the place to be working on a 30-day plan. If you're in a crap state, or if things have gone wrong, or you haven't been able to monetize before, or a business that you were just in failed, or you lost your position in your job, or whatever it was that got you to this moment, you cannot bring that state and that energy into whatever is new that you're going to create next. It's not just the step-by-step and the funnels and the marketing that we do. It's the energy that we bring to it, the state that we're in when we write that. I don't really care how you slice it, whether it's strategic, spiritual, or whatever, garbage in, garbage out. The truth is, when you put that kind of, not great state into your work, it comes out and what your prospective client feels about you and what your opportunity is and your confidence and everything. So it's really important before you embark on anything is to remember who you are, put yourself in a phenomenal state, and create rituals and practices to re-anchor yourself to the best of you before every single day that you embark on the journey that you're doing. So as you'll read in my 30-day plan, some of what I do is reminding myself who I am. Like when I went through this, I had to remind myself that, my net worth does not equal my self-worth. Like I'm more than that. Like the only thing that matters in my life is my marriage to Paul and our children. Like those are the things that matter, that I am love, I am compassion, I am joy, I am fun, I am all these things. I'm more than wherever I came from just now. And you need to get yourself into that state of flooding yourself with what you're grateful for so that you can almost vibrate from that gratitude, and that energy can go into the work that we're about to do.
So the first week, we said there was 2 different parts. In that first part, as you mentioned, you're doing so many of those activities in order to set yourself up for success. And the second week, the way I read it, you're really starting to get into some more of the concrete business activities that you really need to be taking care of. For example, figuring out your client avatar, quickly moving into getting your website set up. And you also mentioned something in the plan that you call pillar pieces of content, and really getting your first few pillar pieces of content set up. So I was wondering if you could explain what pillar pieces of content really are, and also share with us any other activities that are happening during the latter half of your first week.
Yeah, it's super clear to get clear first on your avatar. It's something that so many people skip over. I know before I knew anything about marketing, I skipped over it too. I was so focused on, I can do this. This is what I do. right? And we just kind of show up in the marketplace like we're just going to say, this is what I do and this is how I do it. You want to buy it? Like, and that just doesn't actually land. Once you've done this a few times, once you've been around the block, you realize that, whoa, pull back. I've got to figure out who I serve first. Because I've seen many people, many friends of mine close multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses because they ended up hating who they were serving because they kind of fell into it. When you start with the who you're going to get up to serve every morning, first of all, the journey to that 2 Comma Club award or the X award, that is going to come with some challenges that are going to stretch you. And if you don't have that person that you're waking up to be a hero for every day, if you don't have that person to wake up for, to be a champion for every day, you're not going to get over the hurdles and the roadblocks and some of the stretching that needs to happen on your journey. So it's really important to get clear on who your avatar is, who you're going to be a hero to, and then you can start working on your pillars. It's not very easy to figure out what your pillars are if you don't even know who you're serving. What are pillars of content? You're going to produce boatloads of content, hopefully, right? If you're going to be a marketer and you're really going to go out and serve the world, we've got hundreds and thousands of articles and videos out there on relationship, and we cover all kinds of pieces of content. But there are pillar content. Your pillar content are the things that really tell somebody who you're about, what you're about, and what your message is. When your avatar reads your pillar content, they should A, be able to know immediately what you're about, and B, they should be able to see themselves in your message. This is your opportunity to get up on your soapbox and tell everybody, like, what you stand for, what you're tired of, what you're not going to put up with anymore, who you serve, and what you solved for them. And then when your avatar shows up, they're like, whoa, that's me, and that's what I need. How did you know? So that's what your pillars are. And you always want to be able to bring your avatar back to your pillars, whether it's on your blog, your Facebook group, wherever it is, your pillar content, so that when someone first meets you, they immediately know who you are and what you're about. So for us, some of our pillar content is how to create a rock solid alignment with your partner, even when you can't agree on anything. Right? How to reignite the passion no matter how long it's been or no matter how fizzled out it is. Like how it only takes one person to transform any relationship, that you don't need to do couples work. Couples work doesn't work. Like when people show up in my pond, right? When the fish kind of migrates over to my pond and they hear those things, they're like, whoa, they immediately know what I'm about and they can see themselves in my message. It's important for you to figure out what those are for you, because that is the thing that's going to generate non-paid traffic to you, and find your avatar that's going to flock to you, that's going to be the multiplier that will enable you to grow and serve.
So in addition to this free pillar content, you also mentioned that putting together a freebie offer is an incredibly important part of your plan as well. I'd love to hear if you have any tips to share with our audience about putting that freebie offer together. You specifically mentioned in your plan that you favor the 4-part video series, so I'd love to ask you why that's the route you would choose as well.
Yeah, awesome. So here's the thing. This is one of the largest mistakes that I see people make is in their free offer. So typically when someone's really wanting to, first of all, monetize their business, what you're going to give away for free is not usually your favorite subject, right? You're like, I need to make some money on this funnel. So people are focused on monetizing. That's awesome. But here's the thing. Most people will then think, all right, what's the thing that I could like give away? The thing that really didn't cost me much. It's not really worth all that much. I'll just give that away. Like that is the biggest showstopper you can do. So, Frank Kearns used to say, give your best stuff away for free and they'll buy anyway. One of the ClickFunnels coaches, Julie Stoian, had a process for sharing that. She has people come in and like map out what's everything you would want to teach, like your best client, your highest paying client, like pour it all out on the table and now point to like the sexiest, most valuable piece. And she's like, well, that's what we're going to give away for free. So it's such a contrarian perspective to take your most valuable piece and give it away for free. But if you think about your avatar and step into their shoes, this is the first time that they're meeting you. It's your job to help them drop their resistance to you, get out of their fears, get into their heart, and take that step forward. We use the 4-part video series. So we have 2. We have the 4 steps to your rock solid relationship, and we have the 4-part video series for how to reignite the passion. Now, why we use those? First of all, those two videos, one or both of those, solve the two biggest challenges that my avatar has. Right? How to create a rock solid love and how to have unleashed passion. So we're solving it literally in the first two free offers. The other reason why we use those videos, first of all, it's collateral we have. Paul and I do a lot of live events, and we use these free videos. It's a 4-part series that's literally filmed from one of our events. So that creates a lot of social proof. They get to see me and Paul interacting together. So immediately they know so much beyond the content. They know, oh, there's a guy here too. So Paul teaches from the masculine perspective. I teach from the feminine. So this isn't male bashing. The men are like, oh, there's a place for me here too. I'm going to be heard. And then they get to see us back and forth together. We're really funny. They're like, oh, this isn't horrible, crying, emotional crap that I thought it was going to be if I worked on my relationship. This is actually fun. So there's so much that my avatar is gaining from watching us interact and do these videos. And they get real strategies in those videos. Literally, they can change their relationship before their head hits the pillow that night. And now they know, oh, wow, this makes total sense to me. This looks like it will work. And ooh, it already worked for me. Now I know this will work for me. Now I want to take a step forward. And you need to figure out what your piece is like that and have that be your free offer that brings people closer to you.
So we need to keep moving on in your 30-day plan, and right now I'd like to move on to week number 2, where you say the primary objective is to create your perfect webinar, and I definitely want to hear your strategy for putting this together. But I cannot help but mention at this time that in your plan, you specifically mentioned that we're actually not going to be putting together our perfect offering right yet. In fact, you specifically mentioned that we're going to wait to do that until week 4. And as far as I can tell, that's totally different than what I've seen in a lot of other people's perfect webinar plans that we've had on this summit. So I'd really love to understand a little bit more of your reasoning and strategy behind this.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal, and you'll see it in my 30-day plan in detail. When you craft your perfect webinar, you need to do it exactly like Russell says. There's, a hashtag do what Russell says. We're serious. Like, that's how we do this. I will just tell you that before I came into the world of ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson, I was doing webinars that were converting at 1/2 of 1%. 1/2 of 1%. And I was in so much pain working so hard. And now we do the perfect webinar every single week, and it converts at over 20% every single time. It's about doing the perfect webinar exactly as Russell says. Now, one of the strategies I'll offer you that's really, really key is that there's 3 foundational pieces within your perfect webinar that you need to nail before you go create the entire thing. Those 3 things are the title, the big domino statement, and your 3 secrets. And whatever class you're taking or whatever you're doing, or in the 30-day plan that I share, we go into detail about how to craft those, because you can't really do the whole thing until you've nailed that. So craft those in a way that it really, really lands, and get good feedback. Now, before you move on, one of the things I'll offer you is I see people do this all the time. They'll go into like a Facebook group with 50,000 people in it, and they'll be like, hey, what do you think of my webinar title? And everybody in the world has an opinion about it. You can go to the grocery store and get opinions about it too. They're not exactly valuable. If you really want to do this and do this well, you need to start learning how to pre-frame your requests for feedback so that you're getting quality feedback. So you might come into the ClickFunnels community and say something like, hey, for those of you who are doing a weekly live webinar and converting at 10% or higher each time consistently, would you be willing to look at my 3 foundational pieces of content and give me some feedback? Now you've really honed it in, so I'm not watching your hour-long webinar. I'm really focusing on that, and you've honed in who's answering. So it's not like, well, I've never done a webinar before, but I don't like your title. Like, that's not really relevant for me. So don't go off on a squirrel chase. Make sure you get good feedback. There's a reason why I teach in my 30-day plan not to craft your offer while you're doing the heavy lifting of the perfect webinar. Too many people craft their offer based on what they want to teach, based on what they want to give. And one thing that you'll learn when you really start to serve people is it's super important to find out from your audience what they want solved, what they're willing to buy before you make the offer. So what I'm going to take you through is how to create your part of the perfect webinar in my plan, which is up until the offer. And then in week 4, we're going to go through a process where we'll circle back and you'll have a really strong offer that's not only solid for getting them the result, but based on what they shared with you, they really want to learn, which is what they're willing to buy.
Okay, so week 2, all about creating that perfect webinar. Week 4, we're going to circle back and worry about our perfect offer at that time. But there's something going on in the middle. Week 3, there's one word to really describe what's happening during this week, which is traffic. So could you talk to us a little bit about what's happening during week 3?
So week 3 is all about traffic. It's about your people. It's time to go find your peeps. You know, Russell equates it to you're going to go into the big ocean and find the fish that are your fish that are going to hop over into your pond, right? We're building our pond. We're filling it with pillar content and our perfect webinar. And now we need to go find some fish that will be willing to hop over and be like, that sounds cool. I'd like to check that out. And so it's all about traffic strategies. Now, here's the thing I'm going to tell you, and it's probably a little bit contrarian to probably what you see out there, but there are a few key things that we're going to do in week 3 to find your fish that love you and you love them. The first thing is to do a daily podcast. It's for you to speak. You can start with your pillar content, but then it's really whatever comes up. You might have seen a comment on Facebook and you know that there's a solution for that. It generates a podcast that you want to do. That podcast can go on your Facebook page, on your website, and you can start doing a daily podcast so people have a way to consume your stuff. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to go into your social media and change every single one of your profiles to have a cover photo with a call to action back to your perfect webinar. You're going to do your perfect webinar next week. And so you want to start filling it with opt-ins. Now, here's the mistake that a lot of people make is that they make a Facebook fan page. And it's over there that they're talking about the webinar and the opt-in and all of that. I'm going to show you in a second why that's a little bit of a mistake. Because the next strategy, which is really the biggest strategy for finding your peeps, is to find Facebook groups that are talking about your topic, right? So for me, I would go out there and find Facebook groups of people who want to improve their relationship, who want to save their marriage, who want to bring the passion back or stop the fighting or whatever it is. But I'm not going to go do what most people do, which is, hey, I have this webinar coming up. Hey, I've already solved this. Look at me. I'm not going to do that in those groups. What I am going to do, though, is become a massive contributor. I'm not going to do any posts of my own. I'm just going to comment like mad on everybody else's posts and questions, delivering tremendous value. Now, when someone shows up and does that, people who are not only ask the question, but everyone who's reading the thread are going to look and be like, who's Susie Johnson? She nailed it. Where did she come from? They're going to try to friend you. They're going to click on your personal Facebook profile, not your fan page, your personal profile. So when they go back to it, you want that cover photo to be like, oh, Susie Johnson has a webinar. I should sign up for that. So make sure that your personal profile is set up for that, because by delivering tremendous value, that's what you're going to do is create that pond. And then you're going to create a private Facebook group of your own so that everyone who signs up for your webinar gets into that private Facebook community. It's a free community, but you're building your pond. That's your pond. That's where your peeps hang out. And so that's how you're going to start building traffic and getting people into your world. They're going to see your pillar content on your Facebook, in your Facebook community. And then every other day in your Facebook community, you'll mention that you have this live webinar coming up and you're excited and what questions do they want answered and all of that as you start to build your tribe.
Okay, sounds fantastic. So we've got our webinar week 2, we've got our traffic week 3. Now it's time to circle back to week 4 and finally talk about that offer. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so in week 4, it's all about you're still funneling traffic to your webinar. Now it's time to build out your proprietary system. Your proprietary system is your methodology, what sets you apart. And this is where a lot of people just like storm into what they're delivering without actually taking a moment to build this proprietary system. But if you do this correctly, this proprietary system will literally set you free in your business. And you'll see in my 30-day plan in the book, I map out step by step. I literally walk you through how to create this. So if you want to do the step by step with me, definitely pick up that book and make sure you dig in. Here's the thing. If I were to sit you down with your favorite avatar, like the person you love the most, and they were to pay you a huge sum of money, what's everything you would want to teach them in order to get them the result that they came to you for? If you figure out what those things are, and then you can put them into an order that that person can get really great success with, you can come up with your however many number of steps system, which is your methodology to get the result. The people come to you for solutions, not because you're an expert or not because of who you are. People want to solve something. When you show up with a proven methodology, you've already demonstrated, I've solved something, and I do it my way, which is different than anybody else's way. So if that way speaks to you, give it a try. So we did this and created our 8-step relationship transformation system. It's an 8-step system to transform any relationship. You're going to have however many steps you create for your system. Here's the beauty of having that proprietary system. Once you have it, first of all, our 8-step system is our 8-week online quick start class. So you're going to take the number of steps in your system and transpose that into how many weeks your class is. This is the class we're going to sell on the perfect webinar. Now that we have our system, we know exactly what we're going to be selling on that webinar. However many steps we have, that's how many weeks the system is. The class is online. The reason why I wait to do the offer is because your level of confidence when you deliver that stack, that offer, your level of confidence is going to equate to the kind of conversions and results that you're able to get on that webinar. And when people create their stack, when they're like, I don't know what I'm going to sell, I don't know what I'm going to make, they lack that confidence. They lack that thud that this is my system, this is how we do it. When you have a proprietary system and now you put that into your offer, it lands with a lot of confidence, like this is how we do it and this is how we're going to do it for you. So you create that system. The great thing about the proprietary system is why I say it will set you free in your business is eventually those are the chapters of your book. Those are the sections of your live event. Those are the months in your year, your year-long program. Those are the sections of content you're going to deliver. You're going to take that proprietary system and whether it's the weeks of your course or anything else, you're going to use that as the outline of your entire business. Everything you do is going to be based on that and you'll be known for that. And that's your methodology that you kind of like hang your hat on. That's your stake in the ground. Once you have that, everything opens up for you.
It makes a ton of sense, and I am loving the flow of this entire 30-day plan, from crafting your perfect webinar, driving in the traffic, but then creating a perfect offer that really delivers the value that your audience wants based upon that proprietary system. It's great. Stacey, we are finally coming to the end of this interview, and I would just love to open the floor to you one final time and ask if there's anything else you would like to share with our audience about your 30-day plan or business in general that you want to leave them with.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this, that if there's a message or a mission in your heart that you want to go out and serve the world with, if there's something that you are called to do, bring that full force into your message, into your business, into your writing, into your videos, into everything. Because it really is your message and your calling and your big why that is going to magnetize people to you and get you to go over those hurdles and those stretches and the different little things that the hiccups on your journey that are coming your way. If people who do, doing a business for the money is great too, and we all need to monetize businesses or we really can't help people. But I know for a fact that when you go into entrepreneurship just to make a buck without any real why behind it, when that business gets tough and when you get stretched, you'll jump off before breaking through. Whereas people who have a real why and follow a calling and have a passion for what they do are unstoppable. So make sure you bring that full force into what it is that you're doing, because that's your message. The world is waiting to hear from you. And even though you might think that what you do great and what your message is, it's probably common sense, everybody probably knows it, I'm telling you they don't. It's your thing. It's not my thing. It's yours. And everybody is waiting for you to go share it. So go share it.
Fantastic. Stacey, thank you so much for sharing all of this incredible value and wisdom with us on today's interview. We really do appreciate it. For those of you at home watching who are ready to embark on your own 30-day path to success, I have something awesome to tell you about. It is called the One Funnel Away Challenge, and you can learn more about it by clicking the button on this page and upgrading today for your opportunity to work directly with a ClickFunnels 2 Club coach to craft your own customized and personalized 30-day path to success and getting your next award-winning funnel launched. But that's not all you'll be receiving when you upgrade. You are also going to get some amazing bonuses, including a physical copy of the 30 Days Summit book, where we've compiled all of the written 30-day plans from each one of the speakers on this event, unlimited access to the interview that you just saw with Stacey, and of course, all of the other Summit speakers. Plus, here's my favorite part, a bonus behind the scenes interview with every single speaker on the Summit, where I am going behind the scenes and actually via screen share being shown how they have each set up their own 2 Comma Club funnels. Truly, the value in those videos is absolutely amazing, and it's something you do not want to miss out on. So make sure that you click the button on the page today to learn more about the One Funnel Away Challenge and upgrade today. Stacey, thank you so much for being a part of the summit. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was totally my honor.